Greg Bensel is with us, the Senior Vice President of Communications with the New Orleans Saints, as well as the Pelicans. And please talk about, first of all, the accomplishment of having two horses like Mo Tom and Tom's Ready good enough to get into the starting gate for the Kentucky Derby.
Well, you know, when we started this in 2014, Mr. and Mrs. Benson said, let's get into this, let's try it, our hand, and they've had uncanny success. He's had tremendous success in his businesses, so he was expecting the 7 horses that he bought in 2014 to all be in the Derby. So to get 2, he's happy with that. And it is an amazing deal to have 2 with 2 different trainers, and both of them really kind of paralleled each other and ran against each other a lot. So it's been exciting.
Greg, I watched you in an ABR video on Louisiana Derby Day, and you had a lot of space to cover as the Bensons were out at the races. Tom and Gail were there, and I'll never forget the scene. Gail was sitting there in the clubhouse, and she asked you, what's it going to take to get both our horses in the Kentucky Derby? You said, well, we need about a 2nd place finish and a 4th place finish with the 2 horses, Tom's Ready and Mo Tom. And the day, in a sense, turned out perfectly, but everyone wants to talk about the trouble that Mo Tom had down the stretch.
Right.
When you look back at the Louisiana Derby, first of all, you had to be very proud of the 2nd place of the effort by Tom's Ready, but what about Mo Tom and the trouble that he had?
Yeah, you know, he had some trouble in the Risen Star, and then here, you know, it was bad luck, and Corey was pressing a little bit there to try to find a gap, and luckily, you know, although I told the Bensons, you know, in a worst case scenario, we'll take a 2 and a 4. I really wasn't planning for Mo Tom to finish 4th, so because we needed whatever points we could get for the Derby run, but. Look, at the end of the day, it's horse racing. These guys are going X amount of miles an hour. They've got to make split-second decisions, and so those are the kinds of things that, although at the end of the day you're disappointed, you have to respect the job that these jockeys have to do. Okay, so a lot of people are speculating, will Corey Lanerie ride Mo Tom back in the Kentucky Derby? What is the status for Mo Tom's rider? Well, you know, we've been talking about it. We've been, Mr. and Mrs. Benson, every day we talk about it, and they're very much a part of the decision. Tom Amos and I chat a lot about it. We've got all of our options. Corey's got options. I just talked to Corey in the paddock here at Keeneland in the 3rd race, and we're keeping our options open. I told Corey that we'd stay in touch. He's definitely under strong consideration, and he should be. He's won races for us. He's won a stakes race for us. Greg Bensel is with us of the New Orleans Saints as well as the Pelicans, and when you think of the Benson family and what they mean to New Orleans in that area, just with their involvement with the professional sports franchises, it says something that they find time for thoroughbred racing. Why does thoroughbred racing still fit with the Benson family? Well, it's a good question. Mr. Benson has always been involved in it to a certain extent. A long time ago, in the late 70s, his son Bob ran his horse operation in Texas. They had a farm and a ranch there. They had success. They had a horse named C. Seaman that had success. His son dies of cancer. Mr. Benson waves it off. He wants to put it in the rearview mirror a little bit. And then we revisited it a few times during the summer of California Chrome. The excitement that was building around it. Mr. Benson, Mr. and Mrs. Benson both love going to the fairgrounds. They both love going to Saratoga. They both love going to Belmont. So they're into the sport anyway, and they love the industry. And so, you know, from afar, we're trying to do what we can to help the industry as well. But it's quite a statement when they've had the thrill of a Super Bowl champion, that they get the thrill from what thoroughbred racing can bring day in and day out. It really kind of sells our sport, just their involvement. No question. And I'm telling you, every day goes by where Dennis Lauscha, our team president, or myself or Mrs. Benson turned to Mr. Benson and said, do you understand you have 2 horses in the Kentucky Derby? 2. And he's like, oh, yeah, I get it, I get it. But Greg Bensel is with us, the Senior Vice President of Communications with the New Orleans Saints, a club that you've been associated with for 21 years. And obviously, it's always a national story when anything happens with the Saints, but a very tragic one happened within the past month, and a former player, Will Smith, was shot to death. It grabbed a lot of national headlines. And it seems like when the national media gets involved with the story, they want to stay with the sensationalism part of it. But when you think back of Will Smith, this was really a hard moment to take for everyone in the Saints family. Talk about Will Smith, the man that you knew. Yeah, you know, I've been with the team for a long time, and I have a little, in my office, I have a little top 10 list of guys that I respect. And I've actually asked for their autograph, and I don't ask anybody for our autograph on our team. And Will Smith was one of them. He was a guy who was a cornerstone of our defense. He was the defensive team captain of our Super Bowl team. He went through Katrina with us, and he was just a rock in the building. Him and John Vilma, Drew Brees, during that time were the foundation of our team inside that locker room. A great guy, tremendous family man, never left New Orleans, stayed in New Orleans with his wife and his 3 beautiful kids, and formed a foundation. They do a lot of stuff with the Bridge House and the Kingsley House in New Orleans, actively involved and just taken away from us in a flash, and it's sad.
It has been a difficult month. I hope it gets better. Certainly, we are happy that the Benson family is involved in thoroughbred racing. We wish you guys the best of luck on Derby Day. But Greg Bensel represents what New Orleans is all about. You grew up there, and now you've been with the Saints for over 21 years, and now you're going to the Kentucky Derby. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Todd.
Greg Bensel joining us on the set here at Keeneland Racecourse.